Yo dude, what's up? My name is Moose, and today on Punk Rock Talk, I'm gonna talk about the most recognizable punk rock singers. Let's get it! Yo dude, so if you already follow me, you know that I do the covers, you know I write originals with my bands, Half a Outlook and Life is Short. I do vlogs and stuff like that, all on my channel, Punk Cover Moose, or my Facebook page. But I want to kind of start this new segment called Punk Rock Talk, where I just talk about punk rock, so let's do it. So first, I want to preface this video by saying I know that there are a bajillion singers out there. There's not enough time in a lifetime to cover them all in one video, so I just picked the most recognizable singers, in my opinion. You know, the kind of singers that when you hear them singing on a track, you know exactly who it is, or I just listed them because I think that they're really talented. And singing ain't easy, baby. And also, these aren't in any particular order. They're just, let's just make them. All right, so one of the best ways to kick off this video, I think, is by mentioning Tim Armstrong from the band Rancid. Tim Armstrong just has one of those voices that when you hear it, you know you're listening to Rancid, or one of the other projects that he does. I think they're all awesome. Next, I think I'm pretty obligated to mention Fat Mike from the band NoFX. He just has one of those distinctive voices, again, that once you hear it, you know that it's him. And to be honest, I think the way that they do their harmonies are just awesome. I mean, it's nothing outside of the box, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think once you hear his voice, the way he does his cadences and stuff, you know that it's NoFX. Another one that goes without mentioning, I think, is Billie Joe Armstrong from the band Green Day. He just has, again, one of those distinctive voices. Once you hear it, you know that it's him. You know that you're listening to Green Day. It's not anything exceptional, again, but you just know that it's him, and that's what makes it so awesome. Next, I gotta mention Mike Herrera from the band MXPX. Again, he has one of those distinctive voices. You know that it's him. And again, I like the way that he does his harmonies too. Another thing I gotta mention about MXPX is they've pretty much always stuck to their pop punk roots. I think like any band, they've kind of experimented with other genres and stuff like that. But again, he always has that cadence and that distinctive timbre to his voice that you always know that it's him. I actually did a cover of one of their songs, Wrecking Hotel Rooms. It's one of their like slower ones that they did that when they were kind of experimenting with different genres. I did it in like a pop punk version, like what they would normally do. I just want to know what it would sound like. That's on my channel, on my Facebook page, so if you want to check that out, that was a weird plug. Another distinctive voice in the genre, very distinctive voice in my opinion, is Dexter Holland from the band The Offspring. How did I forget that? For me, The Offspring was one of those bands that I had to be in the right mood for, and they had like a handful of songs that I just really enjoyed, but I grew up listening to them, and he has that voice. Like, you hear it, you know that it's him, you know that it's The Offspring. And when doing the research for this video, I actually found out that he's a molecular biologist. That's pretty insane. That's cool. How do you even, I guess it has to do with... All right, so another singer that I feel like I'm obligated to mention is MILO from the Descendants. He just has that voice, you know it's him, and he has that like kind of, I don't want to say like grittier, but it's more like punk rocky rather than pop punk. But in a lot of people's opinions, the Descendants kind of pioneered the whole pop punk like movement thing in the early 2000s, which I think is super cool. And when I was doing the research for this video, again, found out that he is also a molecular biologist. I guess that's a thing to do when you play punk rock. Another singer that I can always pick out is Tony Lovato from the band Mest. He just has one of those voices. You can always recognize him. You know you're listening to Mest. So this feels a little weird mentioning these two singers a little later in the video, but I think Tom DeLonge and Mark Hoppus have very distinctive voices that when you're listening to them, you know you're listening to Blink. In my opinion, they're not doing anything earth-shattering. I do love the way they do their harmonies. They don't do like standard like thirds and fourths like Mark likes to go lower and stuff like that, which is kind of, you know, musical theories. In my opinion, though, I think that Tom DeLonge does have a more distinctive timbre to his voice, but you always know it's them or one of their projects. This next one is probably one of my favorite singers from the genre, even though the band has kind of moved away from the pop punk and punk rock scene, and that's Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy. I actually, as a singer, pull a lot of influence. Why can't I think of... I actually pull a lot of influence from Patrick Stump. I just love the way he does like those vocal runs. They're like R&B style vocal runs. And of course, everyone knows he has a really high range, like a high alto range, which is great and awesome. But I think not only is it cool that he can do those high notes, but he can reach those really low notes too. And just having that dynamic in the old Fall Out Boy stuff, I think just makes it awesome. Plus, he has a very distinctive voice. Again, you just know you're listening to Fall Out Boy. Next is Jordan PUNDIK of the band Newfound Glory. Jordan is a singer for that band. Why did I say it that way? Newfound Glory is just one of those bands that I grew up listening to. I love them so much. I actually did a cover of one of their songs too, if you want to check that out. But no, seriously, he just has one of those distinctive voices. And again, I think it's really cool that he can actually reach the really high notes and the low notes. It kind of drives me crazy though that people say that his voice is too like high pitched. I think that's, I mean, you know, you're entitled to your opinion, but I love Newfound. How can you not like Newfound Glory? They have like one of the best live shows in the genre. I don't get it. All right, so those are my 10 most recognizable pop punk singers. If there's anyone I missed, please let me know in the comments below. There's so many that I just could not mention in one video. If you'd like to see another, maybe, I don't know, let me know down below. But yeah, that's all I got. So see ya. Yo, dude, thank you again so much for checking out this video. Please throw your boy a like on this video, share it with your friends, and leave me a comment down below any other singers you think I should have mentioned and what you thought of this video, because I would like to do some more. All of my covers and originals I have up on this channel, so make sure you subscribe. I also have all the music released on streaming and download sites. They're listed on the screen right now. I also have some videos right there on the screen you can click or tap to check out some more of what I do. So, hope to see you around.